I
So
don't have anything
Spain,
to add actually.
yeah, Spain is Spain, Croatia. If that was not uh, if that was not fun enough, which it was, there was another game, France versus Switzerland, and, and
Well, personally, I would say we discussed about France team. Like,
yeah, even their bench would make
yeah,
to final. But yeah,
unfortunately,
what a
they are
game
not
from
in the team.
Switzerland.
Yeah, exactly.
Credit to them. I do like the way they play, not just from here. I remember their game versus Brazil in 2018 World Cup. I think they were very good, um, especially Granit Xhaka. I know a lot of people doesn't like him because he plays for Arsenal, and someday he's not great as well. But for Switzerland, he's very influential and very pivotal, and he has an attribute, an eye for a central midfielder who can get passes from 30, 40 yard years. Uh,
Well, I was thinking like original Lionel Messi couldn't beat France, but Swiss Messi beat France.
Shaqiri.
So, Shakiri.
But yeah, what a great game as well. I mean, obviously, this game had a lot of ups and downs as well. Switzerland scoring first with Seferovic scoring the first one, and then they were leading in halftime, and France looked lost. Almost they didn't have any kind of.
Actually, I think, yeah, I think they didn't expect to concede first.
I don't think they
So
even thought the Swiss team can give them a battle, and that's
yeah,
where they've
exactly.
lost. They were
Exactly.
already on
And
the next
what I
phase.
liked about like this Swiss team, they like went for it. Like they went together and like waving the defense, and it wasn't like even like players in form like Kante and Pogba scored a stunner, and they couldn't actually like keep up with
Nope.
them. And
And that's a brilliant uh, totality of that the Swiss team have played. That they've taken the first um, counter. I think before the before the match, the coach of Switzerland was saying to a question of a journalist, like he asked if France for to win against France, how much you have to give. He said if we play 100% and France play their 100%, France will win. So either they have to play 80%, we have to manage that, or we have to give our 120% if there is any. Uh, so and somehow they've taken that first initiative because under Deschamps, uh, France doesn't seems to. I mean, there's a lot of sideway passing happens, um, and also, uh, I mean, there's not really. They try to draw the opposition towards their half, and then they kind of create anything, which is which they couldn't do because they were already trailing for 1-0. They had to go and actually play, and they have players like Griezmann
yeah.
and Benzema and obviously uh,
I think, sorry to interrupt. Like, I think also it depends on the shape of the France team because normally France wouldn't actually like go for a formation like 4-3, 4-3-1-2 or something like this.
no, they played with
And
the 3-5-2
yeah,
started with. Uh, I found that
Rabiot
was
was playing on the wings.
and they started Langley. Uh, I thought, okay, that was strange. And the first goal, Langley wasn't even had no clue where Sefranovic was, and then it was 1-0. and Langley has to be replaced. I believe it was uh, Thuram probably, but they again gone back to four in the back with Varane and Kimpembe.
And the funny thing is that Kimpembe, the other goal was like from Kimpembe's miss.
Yeah.
Like he failed to tackle, and there was a space behind him, and
With all the respect, I don't believe Kimpembe is good. He's not great. Is good. And Hugo Lloris uh, brought them back with Ricardo Rodriguez penalty. It could have been. I always thought Hugo Lloris is the weak link, but he somehow managed to save it. Credit to him. But then I thought, okay, there is France coming back, and there's 20-minute spell from France where Benzema scored the first, and then obviously the second from the chip from Griezmann was deflected, and Benzema was there, and the third one was a scorching hit from Pogba, and 3-1. It was almost done, and they stopped playing. Uh, and even Deschamps have replaced Griezmann with was he replaced Griezmann with someone I can't I think call Sissoko probably. I mean that
probably
was the blunder because he didn't thought Swiss would come back on that game, and Switzerland have made some changes as well, and the substitute um, actually scored the goal. I believe it was M, Mario Garvanovic, uh, and he scored just before that was in an offside, and there was tension up there, and there was a moment in the audience. They were all going berserk, but yeah, once they uh, made it 3-3, and in the extra time, Benzema had uh, had pulled off his hamstring or something, probably, or he was limping. So Benzema had to take off. Um, you have taken off your one other best attacking player, Griezmann. You have Giroud on, and Mbappe was a ghost of his name. If there was no name on his back, it would have been hard to recognize even he was even playing. He missed some chances, some one-on-one chances as well. And
also like he couldn't produce this like line breaking runs,
well,
and
now
like
everybody knows about Mbappe's run. So he can only make those runs against a team that plays in higher line with weaker or weak pacey defender, the defenders that cannot keep up with him. Um, and that's why I thought the the center back of the Swiss team, I think Elvedi was brilliant against Mbappe on that side. Didn't give any kind of room, any kind of space to run. Pogba was making some glorious passes to Mbappe, and he couldn't even. He was way off to his game. I don't know if there was a bit of rumor going on before before that there's a bit of problem inside the French camp. I don't know how much true it is, but the fifth shot was saved from Mbappe in a penalty shootout, and that's how France lost. And Switzerland is going to the next round. So France, having that much of talent and winning straight from like World Cup, and then there's that Nations League as well. I mean, they've No, they haven't won the Nations
They
League,
they,
but they
ha-
were
they haven't.
they were they were probably
Uh,
on the top two or three. Uh,
yeah, it's semi-finalist.
yeah. So from then on, they have a team, relatively young players, and playing a very high performing in a Champions League, and people were praising uh, N'Golo Kante all over after Champions League win in Chelsea, who can be anywhere and everywhere, who can stop any kind of passes coming through. Um, what went wrong for France? Is it the players? Is it the manager? Is it or is it somewhere else?
I would say like they don't have those plan Bs
Yeah,
like Netherlands. Um, they always seem to play in the same sort of football, and like it like opponents will catch up at
yeah,
one point. So
yeah. So just to sorry to interrupt. Now I remember I was going to talk about a little bit of Mbappe. So if you saw Mbappe scoring against Barcelona, uh, it was Highline and with Langley and Piqué just came back from injury, were in the high line and they're not really pacey. Mbappe's other notable uh, match was, I believe was it Bayern Munich? I think it was Bayern
yeah,
Munich. Yeah.
yeah.
So same, Bayern Munich plays with high line and Schuler, and he's a tall guy, but he's not.
Uh, but like Man City actually handled him really different way because they actually like blocked those passes um, in the midfield from the midfield to from Verratti or Paredes
Paredes,
or
yeah,
some other.
yeah.
Yeah, they are making those passes and they actually blocked those passes to the and they
And
were playing with
also, I
fairly high
believe it
defensive line.
was it Cancel or Zinchenko? I can't remember at this point, but there was constant. Someone was tight on him and was quicker player, not someone. So if you remember, Mbappe's um, ascending to the fame was against Argentina in 2018
Yeah,
World Cup, and he was playing against Marco Rojo and Otamendi
yeah,
and
and three
Mercado
old guy in
probably.
the midfield.
Yeah, Mercado and Tagliafico as well.
Yeah,
Uh, and obviously, this defensive midfielder was an aging Javier Mascherano. So, and São Paulo's Argentina always tried to play in high line. I don't know why, and he didn't have that resource. So there is definitely a trend of Mbappe doing better with certain team, that how opposition is set up and how opposition would look. Um, I'm not trying to make him look smaller than what he was, but what I'm thinking is, um, if whatever I've said, whatever I've analyzed about him is true, he hasn't produced anything against a packed two-layer of defensive line yet. Even if you see his performance against Lille in French league wasn't really great. Um, so
actually, he was trying to like make some dribbling, but one is to one, he wasn't actually like
if there is because players like Cristiano or Lionel Messi will always face 2 to 3 players on them, right?
yeah,
In that
exactly.
section.
Even players like Neymar,
Yeah, Neymar too. But Neymar
yeah,
Neymar is a genius, for me at least. When I'm saying Neymar can dribble, And
Yeah.
he's not all about pace, it's about rhythm. That he can stop, pause, and then make a turn and then do something out of ordinary.
Even
So
players like Eden Hazard, they actually make those runs.
exactly. So
Yeah.
Mbappe is whatever I've seen. He has definitely some skill, but he's all about space. And if he was not given the space, he becomes at least 50% to 40% less effective. Um, and that is, I think, anyone can read it and anyone can put it there because he,
Or
he was one
like
on one against keeper, and at least you expect him to keep it on the post so keeper makes save. So if he's the star, he should be leading from the front. And by the touches, it was awful. It shouldn't have been Griezmann that was taken off. It should have been Mbappe taken off for Zhu. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
and one more thing I would add is like the difference between like one tournament player and a great player is that like they always try to learn new things. Like when Cristiano Ronaldo was starting, like in 2003, 2004, like in 2004 Euro, he could actually dribble plus like four players on his day. Like it was normal, but at like when he was aging, he started like he learned how to like be in the
Yeah,
box like a second
how to be
striker.
effective. Yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
and also like yeah, he could actually at the time he could actually take
some
great
other
free kicks.
roles.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah, now he can actually head. So now, like if you can see Lionel Messi, he wasn't a good free kick taker. Now he was one of the he actually surpassed Cristiano Ronaldo in the number of free kick goals.
Yeah. It's
So
probably right now the best free kick taker.
yeah,
Uh,
he's actually like he scored more free kick goals than Real Madrid team itself, like in last
or
5 years.
Juventus. Yeah, I saw that
Yeah.
stat. Yeah. So
So,
yeah, no,
so,
definitely. I hear you that
I
the
think
great players
it's a
add
great
things.
lesson for him, like Mbappe, to learn something new, or it would be a great motivation for him actually. And yeah, another World Cup in the corner, so they would need him in Qatar.
Yeah, definitely. If and yeah, before that, he needs to perform even in Champions League level. I thought there was one or two matches here and there, but there's nothing really consistent. I mean, he can score, make no mistake about it, but um, I'm talking about impact that a certain player should have, and definitely, he has that tag with Erling Haaland in the um, next generation after Messi and Ronaldo. There's a lot of hype about him. I don't know if he can come back strongly.
Do you think like it's because of the league he's playing right now? Although like Lille played a great season
Yeah,
last year,
there was one or
but
two teams probably that has um, in
they're not the
France.
same level at like in Spanish league. Like for example, last year in Spanish league,
I
four
wouldn't say
teams were
Spanish
in the
league
race
though.
for
Um,
or Premier League, I would say.
Premier League might be because Spanish league. I'll come back why I say not against Spanish league. There, there are very few teams in Spanish league that play high tempo football. There's like very slow build up sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and against those teams, I think Mbappe can do well in counter attack if he gets the passes and he gets the space. He can do well. Uh, but teams like, say, for example, Chelsea or teams like Manchester City, uh, or even to an extent United or Leicester, those sort of teams would definitely taste his his ability because you'll have a
And they have
constant runner.
pacey defenders.
Yeah, constant runners, and
Yeah.
the pace is higher, the tempo is higher. The long balls are fairly common, and people know how to deal with long balls too. Um, so Premier League could be a very good example, or even say, for example, certain no, not even Bundesliga. I don't think one or two Bundesliga team, but yeah, Bayern Munich. Whatever I've seen from them is they play very high risk football with high line, uh, as well as Dortmund can be someday good, someday not. Leipzig probably is the other Stern team. Um, but yeah, and Mönchengladbach have done fairly well. But yeah, coming back to Mbappe, I think it could be the league, and he doesn't play every game with intensity. And yes, he's a bigger star. He's a French local star. But yeah, it's there's a lot to be seen, to be honest. What how he copes with it. Missing a penalty almost ruined a life of a legend called Roberto Baggio. Um,
Yeah.
and not all of that is his fault because 1996 he was even in better form, but Saki decided to drop him, and he had some setbacks, and he came back, uh, but eventually people remember that missed penalty.